to get going. Gotta catch those runners taking off like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Navigation trading on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator, hocus pocus. It's all about the price, just watch it move. Manage your risks so you don't lose. First hour of trading is all we need. Focus on the patience and forget about greed.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's day trading live stream, Monday, August 10th. S&P futures dipping into the red, currently down 8, NASDAQ down 25, Russell down 13, and the Dow's down 157. Russell is the weakest, down about 0.5%. Gold is tiny red, silver's up 1%, notes and bonds a little bit red, 10-year yield up 0.5%. Oil's up almost 2%, natural gas up almost 5%. Soybeans, wheat, and corn all green. Euro and the pound are mixed, pretty flat. Bitcoin slightly red, and the VIX up 3.62%, currently at 15.44. Biggest individual stocks pre-market, looks like SMCI is up 3%, SpaceX up 1.5%. SpaceX was up almost around 4% earlier. Meta's up a little over 1%. Biggest red, some of the chips. Intel's down 3.5%. MU's down 1.5%. Apple is down 2%. Econ calendar, nothing today, nothing tomorrow. CPI Wednesday, PPI Thursday, and a few orange folder events on Friday. Major earnings for the week. HIMS after the close today. CoreWeave and SMCI after the close tomorrow. AMCR, Nebius, and Jumia before the open Wednesday. Cisco after the close Wednesday. And Bullish before the open Thursday. As far as kind of overall bias, you know, both the S&P and NASDAQ gapped up above previous day high. There's the bell. But have both funneled below now, so we'll see what happens there. I'm going to put on a 3-4 double calendar here as my first order of business. Make sure I don't have any strike overlap on my number 204. Also be doing a 1 DTE iron Condor. S&P little bounce. All right, filled on my 3-4. One DTE is trying to fill. All right, both of those have been posted. How was everyone's weekend? I got in a little pool time. Did a few flux updates I'll share later. Good weekend. My kids are out of town. Just back from Ireland. Nice, General. Raspberry garden, Watson. Very nice. Put out a little pod episode. All right, S&P's bouncing. NASDAQ lagging a little bit. Russell bouncing. SpaceX now dipping into the red. Big banks are all slightly green. Cryptos are all red. AVGO is trying to get above previous day high, but getting rejected. AMD is going through yesterday's low. PLTR strong. Microsoft is strong. Microsoft rejected previous day high. Palantir coming down, back down to previous day high. PLTR, a little reaction bouncing back up. SpaceX, a little flush at the overnight lows with a pretty decent little quick bounce. SNDK is getting strong. Yeah, PLTR, if you wanted to jump in early, that was showing the most relative strength early. Nice little level retest and bounce. It's a Monday, though, I'm going to be a little patient. Russell acting the strongest of the indices. After being the weakest to start. Yeah, SMCI is right at pre-market high. And it's up the most. It's the leader on my board. Chips overall pretty weak, except for SNDK and SMCI. Softy trying to reclaim. Tesla right at unchanged. PLTR trying to get back up to highs. SMH going through lows. NVIDIA rejected, trying to go green a couple times. Now the Russell's rejecting, NASDAQ almost through lows. SMCI couldn't hold. Softy, no reclaim yet. PLTR chopping above previous day high still. So PLTR definitely most relative strength here. Amazon's starting to bounce. Q's having a hard time getting back above pre-market lows. I'm going to load up some 0 DTE QQQ puts. $7.16 puts if I take it. Nice, Jonathan W. Microsoft trying to reclaim again. PLTR busted through highs. I'm gonna load some Microsoft calls. Zero DTE 507.5s in Microsoft. Q's popping back up above pre-market high, pre-market low. I'm going to take Microsoft here. Filled at 155. Take some off at 185. Filled at 185. Wow, that didn't take much of a move to hit 20% plus. Put in another order at 210. Might add back in if we get some dips above previous day high here. Yeah, PLTR, nice. Meta couldn't hold. Google is weak, below yesterday's low. Apple still weak. Nvidia, Tesla just choppy. SpaceX choppy. SMCI trying to pop back up. Chips starting to bounce. S&DK is up 2.5%. Amazon needs a little higher to hit my 210. Or Microsoft, I mean. Filled at 210. PLTR, little pause. Tesla bouncing, trying to go green here. S&P and NASDAQ pretty choppy. Meta just kind of bleeding lower.
Autofilled.
Same with Google. The 1 DTE is already up 13%. Microsoft, a little bit of a pullback. My 3-4 looks like I either got a really bad fill or it's gone against me. Still centered, but let's see, what's the ratio doing here? It's starting to bounce a little bit. MSTR bleeding, down 2.2%. Coin at lows of day. Hood chopping around unchanged. Circle at lows. Bitcoin at lows. Q's still kind of chopping around that pre-market low area. Need Microsoft to make it back up to its first little 5-minute high of day. Up around the 509 area. Yeah, Nvidia down. Some of the other chips are doing okay. MU's trying to go green. SNDK still up. SMCI is still chopping around pre-market high. I still have my QQ puts on watch here. I'm going to add a few on Microsoft. Filled at $1.65 on that ad. I'll put an order at $1.90 to scale out if it pops back up a little bit. Still watching the Qs. It's just kind of choppy, but if we start to break back under pre-market lows, I'm going to be ready with some puts. Softy trying to bounce again. Filled at $1.90. Put an order at 260 to get out of some more, which is just below highs of day. right around this 508.50 area. Should hit it. Q's SPY trying to bounce. Meta finally trying to bounce. Google as well, back in the green. SpaceX in the red. PLTR still just hovering just below highs of day. Softy's going for it. Go get it, Softy. Go get you some. S&P almost up, back up to highs of day. Nice hundo. Didn't quite get there. Yeah, the 0 DTEs, they're a different animal. It's an acquired taste, Hondo. Not necessarily something you ever need to acquire a taste for either, if you don't want to. They're fun when you get those big moves in your favor, but it works both ways. PLTR pulling back. S&DK still pushing near highs. MU is pushing. Trying to get up to pre-market high. NASDAQ now almost up to highs a day. So those puts I was looking at is out of play at this point. NVIDIA going through lows. Come on, Softy. Almost there, little buddy. Almost there. Yeah, send me the link in the Transformer chat channel, Krish. I'll take a look at it after. I do have some updates I'm getting ready to push. So there was a couple of little there's a couple little quirky things on the copy paste feature to and from flux to toss, so it may be fixed once I push this out. Looking for 260 on Microsoft, got up to about 255. Need one more little tick up. Watson's jumping in SMCI above pre-market highs. Tesla going through highs. Pretty tight range still. There's 256. 258. Don't be shy, softy. There it is, 260 filled. Oh, actually it filled 2 of my 3 contracts. Not even a full fill. So I've got 4 left. S&DK is on the move. New highs in S&DK. It's up 3.7. Russell, super tight range. Hasn't even broken out of its first 15-minute bar yet. Actually, NASDAQ hasn't either. There's my other contract filled at 260 in softy. So I've got 3 left. Let's blast through highs. Just blast off through highs. You know you want it. There's a new high. All right, I'll try to take another lot off at 330 if it wants it. Got up to 325.
Autofilled.
NASDAQ just pushed through previous day high. SPY almost there. Microsoft just missed before it's kind of pulling back after it ticked through highs. Yeah, there's no scheduled overnight news. So if price is still pretty centered, then I would consider holding at least some of it. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll close half and hold half. So we'll see at the end of the day. Oh, it just depends. The 3-4 and the 6-7 are pretty solid at transforming the same day, but just depends on the environment. I mean, like March and April, part of May, I think. A lot of them were transforming same day. It really slowed down. The profits coming into DCs that quick has really slowed down as volatility has subsided during that period. So it just depends on the environment. Q's a little pause at previous day high. Same with S&P. Six sevens, I would say, transform the same day the most often of any of them. The six sevens on Fridays. Chips getting a little bouncy. AVGO through highs. AMD about to go green. MU, SNDK strong. SMCI is starting to bounce. PLTR still hovering near highs. SNDK is up almost 5%.
Auto-filled.
S&P pushing. NASDAQ pushing. Both above previous day high now. Russell still just chopping. Big banks just barely green. Crypto's still weak. You must have got a better fill than me because my 3-4 is in the red. Centered, but in the red. By a little bit. Don't like my fill. Softy just kind of chopping around that previous high of day. Quick blast through and then put on the brakes. NVIDIA starting to finally show a little bounce. Meta might be trying to reclaim previous day high. Meta's been on quite a run since earnings. From 525, now at 598. Filled at 330 and Softy, new highs. That a kid. Got a kid? Good job out of you. Got 2 left. I'll put another order in at $4. Which should fill if we get up to about 510, 70-ish. Maybe I'll move that down. I'll move that to 370. Which should hit more around 510 and change. Amazon pumping through highs. Picked a good horse with Softy this morning. Microsoft and PLTR were the 2 that were showing relative strength early and gave us some continuation. AVGO, if the chips can stay strong, it's kind of chopping around previous day high, pre-market high. Microsoft filled 370. Got 1 lot left. 1 little Johnny left. Let's see what I'm up there. Softy. I am up right at about 1,500. Microsoft hit 510.09. There's not really many levels here on the daily chart, I guess. This little area. We'll give Microsoft a chance if it wants to give me any more on this little 1-lotter. My little 1-lot runner. SpaceX starting to bounce. Be back in 1 minute.
Autofilled.
Softy new highs. It wants more. It said, I'm not done yet. Not done yet, kids. I'm going to try to get out of my last one at 420. Elon's favorite number. S&P, NASDAQ still kind of chopping around previous day high. If I wasn't in 0 DTE, I might consider just kind of leaving one on here, but 0 DTE, you got to just kind of take it as it comes. Those calls I took at the time I took them, I think we're around the 45 delta. Now they're like 68 delta. In the money. Google coming alive. Meta coming alive. That reclaim of previous day high would have worked. What was the news pre-market, Watson? Do you know? On Meta? Oh, okay. Chips are starting to pull back. Rotation into the mags. NVIDIA going through lows. Yeah, everything matters more or less. Nothing matters more or less. Same. Come on, 420. I want to get out on a high note, not on a pullback. New highs. There's 410. Filled. 420 and out. Beautiful. All right, all. Probably one and done for the day. I'll keep watching a little bit. If I see something I really like, I will post in the trade channel. Otherwise, I will see you all in Power Hour. Have a great Monday. Cheers.